Welcome to another episode of Central PA Outdoorsman. As you guys know, I'm Jackson Ramsey. Today is January 29th, 2020, and I'm out here today doing a little bit of pre-season shed hunting and deer scouting for the shed season of 2020. Rem and I are super stoked and super excited for this year's shed hunting season. We have many properties, public and private, that we're going to start shed hunting. We're going to knock out those public land shed hunting spots first because more people will hunt those, while private will wait till early spring to start hitting because nobody else is going to be shed hunting, so we don't have any competition. But bucks are starting to drop here in PA as we enter into February. Not every buck is down for sure, because we definitely see them holding on till that early spring margin sometimes. But I'm out here today on the private ground, very close to my house, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about what today's strategy is. So the first thing I want to talk about is equipment and gear. Some of the things that I really like to use and utilize while I'm shed hunting is a backpack. I have this just Cabela's backpack on here. It carries all my things. I'll carry trail cameras, I'll carry salt licks or like any sort of attractant since the season's over. I'll carry trail camera accessories, extra camera cards and batteries. I always carry my bigger camera so I can take footage, but they're very useful. You can take water, snacks, and it's a great way to utilize your space. The next thing I want to talk about is always having your binoculars strapped either to your chest or on your neck. Having easy access to binoculars is very important when shed hunting. So as you can see, I'm out here on this big field. This is one of the main feeding fields in this property. And instead of walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth up on this field trying to find a shed, I could stand at the very highest point in the field and scan the whole field with my binos. It saves a ton of time. It saves a lot of time on your feet. It makes it easier for yourself. Yes, now walking on those fields is important, and I will end up doing that, but it can save me a lot of time with having binoculars and through the woods as well. And the next thing I want to talk about is the time of year you're shed hunting. So you got to figure out when your deer are dropping, obviously, but it's always good to get out maybe a few times early before they're dropping, setting some cameras out if you don't have them out already, finding those deer, patterning them. And I like to do that in some snow, so I've been out a few times trying to find some heavy trails, but today I'm out looking for scrapes, maybe some old rubs, new rubs, trying to find some buck sign, trying to find where most of the deer are walking right now. And I'll set some cameras up and come back a week and a half, week later, and check those and see what's walking through. Well, I'm anxious to see what's out here walking around that's still holding on. But my strategy today is look for in the food areas, in the fields, transition areas to bedding. But I will not be entering into the bedding today. It's still very early. I don't want to be pushing a lot of deer around while walking through the woods today. I don't want to kick them out of their beds, so I'm going to be pretty quiet, but I'm going to look around this first patch over here to my left. I'll probably hang a trail camera right here because I got a very nice scrape here to my left. But I'm going to start working my way up and back and down through this area, looking for some sheds, but mainly looking for some deer signs, so stay with me. Well, shortly after I just did my intro here, I'm walking this little patch of woods and I found the first find of the day today. Not a shed, but really weird here. There's actually a dead head skull part here that's actually connected to a root, and the root grew through the eye. So I'm assuming it's pretty old, but that's pretty neat. A little cool first find. No antlers around with it, but definitely a cool little find for the first thing today. I wonder how long it's been here. Well, guys, this is a real big shame. I was just over here walking this field edge. Just got done up at those woods up at the top. But I was walking this field edge and I happened to see this laying in the woods here, just about 2-3 yards into the woods. This is really upsetting. This is a young, very juvenile deer. Dead. I don't know what killed this deer. I haven't seen it here before. It's a shame. And guys, this was actually a button buck. That's really upsetting. I really hope it's not the deer that I've been seeing all year. throughout all archery season. I had a button buck in this same exact location, bedding in the same area in front of my stand every single night. That's really upsetting, and that's what that is. It's a little button buck. Alright guys, so we got to our first spot here where I'm going to be setting my first camera up. It is right below my tree stand. My tree stand is right over there. Camera won't focus. Right up there at the tip of my finger. But we're down here by this creek. I had a camera set over here on this tree. Right here. I had quite a bit of buck activity down here, so I moved this stump right here below this little tree, and we're going to put some deer lick on that. Hopefully get some buck to come in here so I can get a close-up of their heads and their antlers. Hopefully we can find some sheds down in this little south-facing hillside. Alright guys, so we just got it rigged up. We got the stump all covered in the deer stump liquor. We actually got our muddy camera facing it right there. These are one of my favorite trail cameras. They're very easy to use. Super great photo quality. I've been running them for about 2 years now. Super reliable, so I'm very happy with the way they're running. And I know Rem is as well, so we like the muddy camera. So there's the full setup guys. Camera and the stump. So hopefully we get some good buck on that. Alright guys, well, today made for a good day of hiking. Got some cameras hung up over some spots where I think there's going to be some buck action. But we're on the walk out of the woods now. Checked a couple fields today, some in-between trails. Didn't do any serious hunting. Probably put about 2 miles on today, so not complaining at all on that. Didn't find any sheds. Didn't end up finding a doe deadhead and a full body dead button buck, so I'm a little disappointed about that. But other than that, we had a good day of walking. So I will see you guys next time we're out shed hunting. Alright guys, how's it going today? Today is the first day in February for 2020, and I'm out here today in the woods shed hunting. I'm super excited to be back out here. I did a little bit of shed hunting earlier in the video, as you guys could see, and a little bit of preseason scouting. So hopefully we're gonna find some sheds today, looking for anything, but we're gonna be hanging 2 cameras, and now we're gonna start looking for sheds. So stay with me. So I want to talk a little bit about this property and why it's one of my favorite shed hunting spots. So first off, as you can see here, we got a lot of fields, a lot of CRP grass, and a lot of thick bedding cover, and then a lot of food source for these deer. So these deer will be traveling in through here all night eating. So I always check these fields for sheds every single year I shed hunt. The next reason why I really like this property is the whole area of woods is either fence rows to these little mini fields connecting, or a giant south-facing mountainside. This whole mountain, what I'm looking at up here, is a huge south-facing mountainside. That means that the wind that's coming out of the northwest or the north or the northeast, which most of the time we're getting, is being blocked off, so it's giving these deer that warmer cover in the winter months. The other reason why I also like it is because the sun is beaming down on this hillside pretty much through most of the day. So these deer are really going to be honing in on this area of the side of the mountain, and the buck just love to travel up on the high part of the mountain. So we always end up walking good 30-40 miles up on this mountainside here looking for sheds every year. So we're super pumped to be doing that this year. Now that I have my license, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get up here and do some shed hunting, but As you can see, I just got my muddy camera hung up right back here around this fence post overlooking a little corner of the field where deer like to travel. So I'm super excited about this spot, but like I said, this is all south-facing mountainside back behind you here, so it's just perfect for shed hunting. This is a perfect property for it, and we always end up pulling a few sheds off this every single year. Alright guys, so last time I talked to you guys was just back here in the woods behind me here, but now I'm walking this little field edge down with some CRP grass. It's a little cut down, but deer still really use it, and then we got this whole fence line to work with. So currently walking this field edge. I don't want to go too much into the bedding area yet, just because it's still early. Don't want to be kicking deer out, so stay with me and hopefully we can find some sheds. Alright guys, well, I was just walking this field edge right here. I happened to notice, and couldn't happen to notice, this old pine tree. Look how shredded this is from those deer hitting it. I mean, seriously. That is a serious rub. I mean, a mix of old rubs and new scrapes. Or a mix of old rubs and new rubs. But we got a scrape here, a scrape there. And these deer are just tearing it up underneath here. I'm thinking about putting a camera here, possibly. Because I also have one more with me. That way I'm running 5 cameras total. I'm running 2 on the property behind my house and then 3 up here. So, we'll see. Alright guys, so I just got done walking this little grass field here that we used to hunt. We have a box blind set up right here overlooking all this. I was looking for sheds, and wouldn't you know it, as I walk on the back end of the box blind, I think I just found my first ever shed. See that right there? I think I just found my first ever shed, and I think it's a little 3-point. So let's go up and check it out. Oh my. Wow. Look at that. It's a deadhead. Here, let me zoom out. Oh my. It's a deadhead. Holy crap. Would you look at that? Check that out, guys. I just found my first, well, I thought it was a shed, but it's actually a deadhead. It's what it looked like to be a little 3-point deadhead. Oh my, this is awesome. I mean, it's not great that I found a deadhead, but at least I found something. Looks like it's a little 6-point deadhead, but it actually got chewed off right here by mice. That's crazy. Look how dirty it is. It's been in the ground. Definitely last year's, I would assume, because it's got like a natural white to it, but wow. Look at that. Well, it's the first find of the year for me. Sweet. Stay posted. Alright guys, well, thank you for tuning in. It was a really good 2 days of shed hunting here in South Central Pennsylvania. Like I said, guys, thank you again for tuning in. Unfortunately, I did find more dead things in sheds, but it's still very early in February, so I'm super excited for the rest of the season. Now, I did have to leave that deadhead there in the field because of the rules and regulations in Pennsylvania. You cannot keep a deadhead without contacting your game warden and paying per point for that deadhead. And I wasn't going to put a game warden through that trouble. Especially didn't want to pay $60, $50, whatever that would have been with the broken off points for that little shed. So I let it lay there, but I'll always be able to see that and remember that. Cool experience. So like I said, guys, thank you again for tuning in. Make sure to click that subscribe button, like this video, comment if you like our shed hunting videos, and make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at Central PA Outdoorsman. Have a good one.